Hi, welcome to live stream Yoga with Louise, tips and cues to keep you safe and strong on the mat. Today we are going to get on it by creating an easy repeat circuit. The idea is to move at a moderate to brisk pace with little to no rest to keep your heart rate slightly elevated. As always, play where you're comfortable, modify when you need to, rest if you need to. You ready? Let's hit the mat. We're going to set up for today's class standing towards the top end of the mat with enough room to step back. You're going to look down towards your feet, square them up, all 10 toes looking to the front of the mat. Stand up nice and tall, beginning to ground through the feet. Start to activate the energy between the legs by squeezing the inner thighs towards the midline. Little tilt of the pubic bone to the 12 o'clock position. Nice long draw up through the lower belly. We're going to float up onto the toes and back down. Start to play with that lift and that lower action through the heels. Inhaling as you float up, maybe exhaling as you come down. You can reverse the breath pattern, but keep the breath flowing. Grip the mat with all 10 metatarsals as you come down. Last one. We're going to start playing with some knee draws. You can keep the arms relaxed at your side or you can place them on your hips. You're going to draw one knee up to the tabletop position and back down to the floor, lifting and lowering on one side, stopping when the knee is in line with your hip, and using that pull up from the pelvic floor towards your waistline to pull the knee up, and then zippering down to relax it back down. Roughly 10 draws on one side. And then let's change sides. We're going to change sides again. Same knee draw, but we're going to add to it. You're going to press with one or with two hands on the thigh as it comes up to make that movement just a little bit harder. So you can keep the hand on the same side of the body, softly connected to your thigh, and just run the hand up and down, making sure that as the knee comes up, you press in quite hard with that hand to make the movement just a little bit harder. Roughly 10 draws on side one, and then change. Last one, we're going to take it into some roll downs from here. Nod your chin to your chest, hollow out your belly, round out your back, peel down and back up. Moving with nice fluid action as you roll up and down, making sure you've activated your core. Back and front chain to support your roll down and your roll up. Use your whole exhale to peel down. Take your recovery inhale at the end of your movement and then use the whole exhale to peel back up. Two more, and then we'll use the last roll down pattern to find our way into a plank line. So the next time you find yourself rolling down, when you hit about the tabletop line, you can bend the knees if you need to, place your hands on the floor, step back into a strong plank and hold for 10. Body line nice and parallel to the mat. Arms working to push the mat away, core braced and strong, legs braced and strong. Stay here or begin to play. Dropping down on one elbow, then the other, and walking back up. You're going to do 5 drop downs, leading with one arm, and then change halfway, and begin your drop downs on arm 2. Breathe. On your last drop down, you're going to hold an elbow plank frame, nice and strong on the mat. Stay here for 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, Stay or begin to play a tick-tock pattern, alternating, taking one foot out to the side of the room, tapping and coming back to the center line. I'm going to call that 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, you're going to find your way back into a full plank line. And we're going to begin playing with some lizard steps, stepping one leg out to the side of the room and back. Stepping wide to the outside of your hands. Going to call that 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, we're going to use this step out action to find our way into a deep squat. Place your hands on the floor behind you and take a seat on the mat. Sitting up nice and tall in staff pose, feet hip-width distance apart, shoulders stacking over your hips. Float your hands out in front, taking a nice reach in staff. On an exhale, you're going to bend your knees, fist your hands, draw your hands behind you, push up into a tabletop line, rinse and repeat. Sitting up nice and tall to reach, bending the knees, brushing the hands behind you to push up into table. You're going to shoot for anywhere between 5 and 10 repetitions. Going to call that 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. You're going to end in your staff seat. You're going to bend your elbows, placing them softly on the mat behind you, not collapsing down onto the mat, but thinking belly up. Draw the feet flush along the midline if you can. We're going to come into some double leg lifts, or you can give me 5 singles on each side. Last one, you're going to bend your knees, ground your feet, find your way onto the back. As you get onto the back, float both of your hands overhead. Take a big breath in to prepare from a neutral spine position. On the exhale, you're going to tilt your pelvis to 12 o'clock. Imprint your lower and your mid back. Scoop to peel your head, your shoulders, your arms off the mat, and then draw the knees up into a tabletop position. And then inhale to float everything down. You're going to shoot for about 10 tuck-like movements. Two more to go. Last one. You're going to end with your knees in the tabletop position. Relax the arms, the head, the shoulders back down to the mat. Clip the knees and the feet together. We're going to play with the stuttering metronome. Take an inhale to prepare. On an exhale, drop your knees softly off center to one side. Pause. Inhale, come back. And then on an exhale, drop to side 2. Begin to find a rhythm of your own. It's not a roll through action. It's a drop, a pause, a come back to the midline before you repeat to side 2. Let's do 3. 4. 5. As you complete your last set, you're going to end in the tabletop position. You're going to scoop to peel your head and your shoulders off the mat, drawing one knee in towards your nose and extending the other leg at 75. Keep that hollow frame in the mat and start to play side to side, drawing one knee in, extending the other leg away. Last set. As you complete the last set, draw your head, your arms, your feet back down to the mat, opening up your legs so that the feet and the knees are hip-width distance apart. We're coming into a bridge articulation. Beginning neutral. Take a nice big breath in. On an exhale, as the ribs fall in, tilt your pelvis to 12 o'clock. Begin to bleed up into your bridge line. Just hold the bridge, taking a nice little stretch here. Stretch begins just underneath your breast line, feet through the lower belly, through the hip flexors, through the top of your thighs, and then reach your kneecaps long, activate your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads. And then articulate back down, leading with one line of the ribs at a time, finding your way all the way back down to a neutral spine and a neutral pelvis position. Nice big breath in to prepare. On the exhale, as the ribs fall in, contract your abs, tilt your pelvis to 12 o'clock. This time, scoop to peel your head, your shoulders off the mat. Draw both knees in, making a tight little ball frame on the mat. Then open up the arms and the legs into a little V before tucking back in. Maybe exhale as you're opening up into V, and inhale as you tuck back in. Keep that hollow frame the whole time. Last one. Come back down for a bridge articulation, reconnecting to the mat. Tilt your pelvis to 12 o'clock. Begin to roll up into your bridge. You know where you're going to now. Find your bridge and just look for a nice stretch through the belly, through the hip flexors, through the top of your thighs, keeping your feet and your knees hip width distance apart. Then bleed back down with the same amount of control. Keeping your arms where they are, palms down on the mat, or you can tuck them underneath your bottom. Keep your left leg rounded and float the right leg up to the 90 position. We're going to play with a little single drop on the right side, maybe dropping the leg halfway down and back to your start position, or you can drop all the way down to hovering just off the mat before you come back. If you feel strong here, you can float your grounding leg up to a floating position as you play with that drop. 10 drops on each side. Last one, we're going to change legs, either grounding your stabilizing leg or keeping it floating and reaching for the sky. Last one, and we'll find our way back into a bridge articulation. Make sure your feet and your knees are hip width distance apart. When you're ready, articulate up into your bridge. Once you've found the apex of your bridge, just enjoy a nice stretch here, keeping your chin tucked softly towards your chest, making sure your legs are active in the bridge line. Then bleed your way softly back down. Arms either stay relaxed at your side once you're down on the mat, or you can tuck them underneath your bottom for support. This time, float both legs up to the 90 position. We're playing with that leg drop again, but this time you're going to work a scissoring action through the legs. So dropping one leg maybe halfway and then switching scissor style, or you can play with a wider range of motion, shooting for at least 10 repetitions. So one drop on each side completes one repetition. Last set, we're going to find our way back into our bridge articulation, peeling up one vertebra, one line of the rib at a time, then holding that nice high bridge and looking for that awesome stretch. Bleed back down to the mat with control. Tucking both hands behind your head, elbows nice and wide. We're going to work a little crisscross pattern. Begin in neutral spine, tilt your pelvis to 12 o'clock. Draw one knee in towards your nose, extend the other leg softly out to 75. Scoop to peel your shoulders off the mat, and then begin to twist on the diagonal towards your bent leg. Start to change sides, working with your breath. Make your way back down to the mat for your last bridge articulation, peeling up with control, looking for the stretch when you're at the height of your bridge. As you peel down from your last bridge, you're going to come straight into some rolling like a ball actions. Think of tucking into a tight little ball, maybe holding around your shins or behind your thighs as you rock the weight up just off your tailbone, and then start to get a good rolling action going. Just 5 little rolls up and down, making sure you're giving me a hollow belly and a rounded back as you rock up and down. You're going to use your momentum on your last one to find your way back to a standing frame, maybe pressing your hands on the mat, walking up, peeling back up ragdoll style to find your original start position on the mat and beginning to play directly with your heel lifts up and down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, we're going to do some knee draws on the right. For the first round, we're playing freestyle sans hands, so the hands either relaxed at your side or maybe placed on your hip creases. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, we're going to change sides. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Last 2. We'll come back to side 1 and we'll begin pressing actively with the hand on the same side of the body. Last one, we're going to change sides. Just brush your hand up and down on that thigh. Last one, we're going to take it straight into some roll downs, loading your chin to your chest, hollowing out your belly, rounding out your back, peeling down and back up, working with your breath. Completing at least 5 complete roll down and roll up actions, and then taking one extra roll down to find your way into a plank line. Obviously, you know where you're going to now, so beginning to move maybe with a little bit more speed as you find your way into your plank. Hold steady. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. We're going to drop down onto the elbows and walk back up. 5 times you're going to drop down first on the same elbow before you change sides. Core stays strong the whole time. Once you've done 5 drop downs on one side, we're going to change sides and you're going to lead with elbow 2. On your 5th drop down onto the elbows, you're going to hold an elbow plank steady for 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Stay here or begin your tick-tock pattern with the toes out to the side of the room and back. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last tick-tock, you're going to find your way back into a plank hold. And you're going to begin playing with your lizard step outs to the side of the room and back. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You're going to use your last one to step wide, coming into a deep squat. Float the fingertips to the mat behind you and find your way into a nice tall staff sit. Feet hip width distance apart. Fist your hands, draw them behind you, bend your knees, press your belly up to the sky. Rinse and repeat, shooting for anywhere between 5 to 10 repetitions. Let's do one more, and you'll find our way from here onto the elbows, and we'll begin to play with those leg lifts, either 5 singles on each side, or you're going to double up and give me both legs together. Last one. Bend your knees, ground your feet, find your way onto the back with enough room to fully extend the arms overhead behind you. Begin in neutral. Big breath in to prepare. On the exhale, tilt your pelvis to 12 o'clock. Scoop to peel your head, your shoulders, your arms off the mat. Arms hovering alongside the hips. Draw your legs up to table. Everything back down. Now begin to work a little combination and bring the arms and the knees up and down simultaneously. Let's do one more. You're going to end with the legs in the tabletop position. You're going to keep them there as you relax your head, your shoulders, and your arms back down to the mat. Clip your knees and your feet together and begin to play with your stuttering metronome. Dropping your knees off the center line to one side, pausing. Inhale to come back. Exhale to drop and pause on side 2. Let's do one more drop to each side, and then we'll bring it into a single leg stretch. So once you've completed your last one, keep your legs at the tabletop position. Tilt your pelvis to 12 o'clock. Scoop to peel your head, your shoulders, your arms off the mat. Brace softly around one knee and extend the other leg to about 75. Then switch sides, keeping that hollow frame to your trunk. One more on each side, then we'll bring it into our little bridge recovery, checking that your feet and your knees are hip width distance apart. Articulate up one rib, one vertebra at a time, looking for that beautiful stretch at the apex of your bridge. Chin nodded softly towards your chest. Peel down with the same amount of control. Find your way into a neutral pelvis and a neutral spine position. Big breath in to prepare. On the exhale, as the ribs fall in, contract your abs. Start to peel your head, your shoulders, and your legs off the mat, tucking into a tight little ball. Keep that scoop position on the mat. Open up the arms and the legs into V, and then tuck back in. As you complete your last one, draw back into your bridge articulation, opening up the feet and the knees hip width distance apart, peeling up with control, making sure that your knees are stacking softly over your ankles so that you're not putting any undue pressure on your back or the joints of the knee and the ankle. Then articulate back down with control, keeping the arms at your side or tucking them underneath your bottom. Keeping your left leg grounded or floating it up towards the ceiling. You're going to start with your right leg looking up to the sky. You're going to drop maybe halfway and back to your start, or all the way down to hovering and back to start. 10 times, you're going to drop and bring the leg back. Last one. Let's change sides. Last one. You're going to find your way back into your bridge setup. Check your feet and your knees. Big breath in to prepare. On the exhale, tilt. Use the tilt to lead your way up into the bridge line. And then hold steady, looking for that stretch through the belly, through the hip flexors, through the top of your thighs. Feet and knees, stay hip width distance apart. Lead back down with control. We're going to bring it into a double leg drop, arms at your side or tucked underneath your bottom. Find your start line when you're ready. Play with the drop range that works for you. Don't rush it. Last one. Find your way from here back into your bridge articulation. When you're ready, bleeding up with control through the pelvis, lifting up evenly through both hips, and then looking for that nice activation through the legs, through the core, to keep your bridge nice and stable. Lead back down when you're ready. Tuck both hands behind your head once you've found your way into a neutral pelvis. Big breath in to prepare. On the exhale, tilt your pelvis to 12 o'clock. Scoop to peel your head and your shoulders off the mat. Draw one knee into a tabletop line. Think knee to nose. And extend the other leg away. Then begin to twist on the diagonal towards your drawn knee. And then find a rhythm of your own, alternating side to side. Find your way from here into your last bridge articulation. Peeling up with control. Activating your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads. Nodding your chin to your chest. Keeping your legs squared up. Holding, looking for that delicious stretch. As you peel back down, after your last bridge articulation, you're going to set yourself up for some spinal rolls. Maybe tucking into that tight little ball frame, holding around your shins or behind your thighs as you begin to rock the body up and down with control through the core. So think hollow belly, rounded back. Last one, you're going to use momentum on the last one to press back up. Rolling up, ragdoll style. Ending with your hands in front of your heart, thanking yourself for making time to come out and play today. Hope you enjoyed. Till next time, keep it light.